Yesterday was fantastic with my team. We got to IDS a problem. I give my team the authority to own their role. So when you delegate a task or a role to somebody and you give them permission to own the role, they're actually going to almost be proactive in that position to make sure that they are doing exactly what you're asking them to do. The communication is so much clearer. And sometimes when we're in the middle of a situation and we are putting the puzzle pieces together, we might not do it correctly. But when we have a chance to do an IDS, identify, discuss, and solve, we kind of find our own flaws. We kind of find out, oh, I should have done this differently. And we get to bring awareness to ourselves. By bringing awareness to ourselves, it's a lot better than somebody else coming and saying, hey, you did this wrong and here's how you fix it. Because when I can see my own flaws or faults in something, I can take accountability, number one, which is one of our company core values, accountability in all that we do. But it also increases my integrity awareness of making sure that I am doing the right thing when no one's looking. Integrity is also one of our core values. And so I look at our team, and when we're doing the IDS yesterday, we always go back to the beginning of how a problem started. And that's typically with the first phone call. So we gather all the details. We're identifying. We listen to the sales call. We bring in the facts from the technician side, from the care coordinator side, and we put it all together and we start discussing where we went wrong. And yesterday we discovered that we went wrong on communication. The client had mentioned organizing about 5 times in the phone call on the initial call, and not once did we correct her and say that we don't actually offer organizing anymore. It's not something that we were successful at. It does take a lot of time, and organizing, straightening are 2 totally different things. And I could talk about that forever too, but organizing is completely different. And it's just not something that we do. And the client had asked for 2 technicians to help move some boxes that weigh about 30 pounds so that they could be stacked up. Well, that's not something that our technicians are going to do because of insurance. We are only allowed to lift up to a certain limit on insurance, and that's against our policies, and our technicians know that. So when we went through and we identified everything, it really pulls all of the pieces together. And then I ask my team, I give them the permission to tell me how to correct the problem and what course of action do they think is best. And typically, we would send a technician back if a client's not satisfied. And both of the administrators that were on the call yesterday said, I think we need to do a refund. And they gave me the supporting data on why they needed to do the refund versus sending a technician back, because it's not a client that we would typically organize, clean up boxes for. And what she was asking for is not something we do. So if we were to send the technicians back, we were still not going to increase satisfaction. So this IDS is so important. If you don't know strategies to get through on team meetings, we use the EOS system. In fact, I do a lot with the EOS system and looking how they pull meetings together. You're so much more clear when you can identify, discuss, and solve, and we put a time limit on it. Once we hit that time limit, we're moving on. And we're not going to waste an hour identifying, discussing, and solving something. We're going to give factual information. We don't give paragraphs. It's like bullet points. So if you want help IDSing a situation, let me know. I am happy to tell you what those key components look like. But when you identify, discuss, and solve, and then you give your team the power and the authority to actually make the decisions in their role, it is more rewarding and supportive. And I am a partial absentee owner. I don't get to work in the day-to-day at my company. I work on the behind-the-scenes stuff. So I do I do marketing and invoicing and fun stuff. And so I don't see the client-facing side of it. So when something like this happens and I get brought in to sit on a meeting, I don't feel like my time is wasted. It's very quick, it's informative, and this is our solution. We all agree, we're done and we're moving on. That's the power of giving your team clarity, owning their role, and offering a structure.